Hey, I'm going to do a walkthrough. Some of it's going to be technical, but some of it's also going to be just the thinking process or the thought process on what if you have a person that's a good fit to be one of your Medicaid coaching clients. Okay. There's kind of four basic things you have to check off in order to make this happen. The first is, does the student have a Medicaid based healthcare insurance? That's the first thing. So if you identify a student that you think like, wow, I think I could help them. I think I could provide them with great resource, or um, I could just really be a person that hears out what they're dealing with and give them some advice and guidance. Wonderful. Here's what you need to do to kind of take next steps and determine if you can work with them in a case management or a mentorship capacity. Do they have either care source, Buckeye Community, or Buckeye Health, or Buckeye Healthcare, I think, Paramount Advantage, um, Molina, or United Healthcare Community? So, um, again, Care Source, Buckeye, Paramount, Molina, or United Healthcare Community. There is another option where some people directly have their healthcare insurance through Medicaid. That's also acceptable. So if they have one of those types of insurance, whether it's through a managed care provider like a care source or directly through Medicaid itself, all of those should at least uh, let you know that they have the proper insurance to take next steps. After you've determined if they have the proper type of insurance coverage that will make the sessions that you do with them free and the assessment and everything that goes with this program absolutely free, you can then determine if they're going to be open to what this is. Um, be very honest with them that this is a mental health program, and it does focus on helping people that deal with some symptoms of depression, that deal with anxiety, that deal with something called adjustment disorder, which means when things happen in your life that are new or you're not used to, it can get overwhelming. Helps people that may have had trauma in the past, in that past traumas affecting them in some way mental health wise now. It is that. And what they'll have to do in order to be eligible for the service is be go through a roughly an hour long assessment with a licensed social worker or a counselor that's going to ask them some stuff about their mental health history and let them know it is 100% fine to be open and honest about these types of life circumstances. In fact, that's the best way I think to excel. Our program, when we do the case management with them, will not just be about listening to feelings and and kind of like taking notes on how bad people are feeling about themselves. I think it's just the opposite. We're about empowering people, helping them see problems or challenges they're facing in a whole new and hopefully much more productive way, helping them connect in with resources like maybe Huntington Bank if they want to purchase a first home, or the home ownership center if they want to improve their credit, or helping them maybe connect with HR or recruiters for different job opportunities that they would have otherwise not. And that links back to the mental health because if you have a good support system, which we would become a part of, that can help you overcome anxiety or difficult emotions that may prohibit you from making those types of contacts and making that type of advancement, we can be instrumental. But the student has to be open and honest if they deal with those types of challenges, and letting them know again that they will have to do an assessment with a licensed person that can basically see if they have symptoms of anxiety or depression or some other common challenges. that would make them eligible for all these really great resources we can provide. So, first, do they have Medicaid insurance? Second, are they open? Would they like help, becoming what I always consider a person that gets life coaching? It's not just about the kind of deep counseling, psychotherapy. It's really about, do you struggle sometimes and do you need kind of a partner that can lift you up, that can help you connect, that can basically be a mentor or a coach that takes you to the next level, and that's getting a career or getting into a school program or doing something that just enhances your life. And I think it's such a great thing. But sometimes people are like, whoa, no, I'm not going to talk with any counselor about my feelings. That's a person we can't work with, unfortunately. So making sure they're open minded. If they've got the Medicaid, if they're open minded to addressing some potential mental health situations they've got going on, that's a great person that we really need to work with. I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to hop into what happens when you find a great candidate um, for these services. So you have to use Adobe Sign to do a referral form. Okay, I'm going to do a test referral form. Okay, Adobe Sign. Oh boy, hopefully, should have done this quicker. Hopefully, this lets me in without having to put in this code. This is through Tanisha. It looks like it is, thankfully. Yeah, it did. Okay. The first time you log into Adobe Sign, and thankfully I didn't have to do it, uh, a text is sent to Tanisha with a passcode. This is fine that we're using her account. She's let us do it so we can refer clients to her compliance person that does all the Medicaid intake. Okay. So the first thing we do after we determine if the person claims at least that they have Medicaid insurance and is open to doing some mental health coaching is we want to refer them to PCS of Ohio, Primary Care Solutions of Ohio. That's Tanisha's organization. She's helping us with the billing and eligibility part. So what you're going to do is you're going to put in your email, and I'm going to use Erica's email just as an example. So Tivis or etivis at doncincy.org. And make sure that when you put in your email, and it can be Erica or Ariane or Kate, doesn't matter, make sure you're a signer. A signer is the person that has the little pen icon. Okay. Um, I'm actually normally going to be an approver, but in this example, I might make myself a signer. So put me on. So I'm ZNORDYKE at doncincy.org. Make sure I'm on, and you want to not make me a signer on this, but an approver. Okay, so I can take a look at who you're referring. Lastly, put in MM, and it should auto pop up with M. McCastry. Uh, I think the woman's name is Marika McCastry. She is the compliance and basically she's a personnel at PCS of Ohio that makes sure that people are Medicaid eligible, and she does the paper, or I'm sorry, she submits the proper documentation to make sure that all the people we're working with, their claims will go through, et cetera. So she gets the ball rolling, and she needs to be an approver. Okay, and the approver is the little circle with a check mark. Okay. So put your email on there with the pen, which is a signer. Put me on as an approver. Put M. McCastry at PCS-ohio.org as an approver. Okay, and that's your normal process. And yes, we're using the Columbus referral form, but obviously we're not Columbus. So we're going to put EHLC, Evergreen Holistic Learning Center. We'll just abbreviate it. EHLC referral form dash, and then just make up a client. I'm going to put in Shamel Saunders. Okay, but of course you would have in a client, that you're referring. So your email as a signer, my email as an approver, Marika's email as an approver, EHLC, Evergreen Holistic Learning Center, referral form dash, give the client's name that you're referring. Okay. Don't worry about files. There's just one page you're going to need to do. That nothing happens in that box. I'm going to make myself a signer just so I can show this form again. Make me an approver if you're actually doing this. But for this test example, and I'm going to, just so Marika doesn't think like this is something she has to look at, I'm going to put in test client just so it's obvious to her that I'm not trying to really refer him since he's already been referred. So that's all set. EHLC referral form dash whoever you're referring. And then we're going to send. This sends, okay, so that's successfully been sent out for a signature. I sent it to my school email. Let me tap email inbox. It should come through pretty quickly. Make sure. Okay. Not quite sure why the Adobe form didn't go through. It says it went out successfully. All right. Well, I'll hang tight a second, but essentially the referral form gets sent out. Not sure why it's taking so long to go into my email. It still doesn't look like it's in there. But nonetheless, the referral form hits. I don't know, send another doc. I was going to try to open it up because the referral form's pretty straightforward. I do have an example referral form in my inbox that I'll reference just to show you what it's like. So try to refresh this one more time now. Still hasn't come through. That's unusual and that's much slower. So this was a referral form that Tanisha actually sent me. This is what the form looks like when it does come through. So, okay. Okay, because I'm logged in as her. It won't show it to me. So hopefully in the next few moments that comes through. But bottom line, that's how you submit a referral form. Let's walk through it real quickly one more time. So you're going to go to Adobe Sign and sign in. I'll make sure you have Tanisha's username and password. Once you're on this home screen here, and this is the first thing you land on once you log in, we're going to go start from library. We want to use the Columbus referral form. We want to click start once that's highlighted. And then, like I said, you'll put your email in there, your assigner. So you're going to use that little pen icon. You'll put my email in there. You're going to make me an approver. You'll type in 2 M's, and that's Marika McKestry. She's also an approver. That circle with the dot in. You can leave in a referral form, but put in EHLC, Evergreen Holistic Learning Center, dash name your client. We'll just put in test client 2. Click anywhere. This message updates itself. Once you've done this, don't attach any files or drag more files. Don't do anything there. Send it in all parties. And I still have not received, and that is very unusual that I've not received the Adobe signature piece that I sent out to myself. I'm not quite sure what the heck's going on there, but nonetheless, those are the proper steps. Once that's been done, Marika will check in and see if the referral source actually does have Medicaid, and see if they're eligible. Uh, yeah, see if they're eligible for the case management services that we provide. Once you made the referral, touch base with Marika to make sure she's done the background on them and gotten them into ShareNote. Okay. I would wait 1 day. So do the referral, make sure that you actually get it in your inbox. And then the form's pretty straightforward. I wish I could show it to you. Hopefully the email will come through before the video's over. I'm going to check one more time. Right now, just to see what the heck's going on. Me, and this would be a little surprising if this went in my spam mail. Huh. Bizarre. Okay, don't have the email yet, so I guess that will come through at some point. Do the referral form. Email Marika about a day later. Make sure they're in ShareNote. Once you know that the person you referred's in ShareNote, you can schedule an assessment. The assessment is where that person you're referring has to talk with Thomas Singleton, or I think the other person they have, she's a counselor, name's Linda Jackson, I believe. You need to schedule an appointment with the student to work through Zoom to do an assessment with either Thomas Singleton, who is a social worker, or Linda Jackson, who's a counselor. You have to schedule that. And I'll show you how to do that. And schedule it for Wednesdays between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And each assessment takes an hour, but they like to have a 90-minute block plotted out. So when you get to ShareNote, when you've logged into ShareNote, make sure your current location is set to Evergreen Holistic Learning Center. I don't think many of your locations will be set to this, so go to current location first, Evergreen Holistic Learning Center, and then check set as default location, and then go ahead and change if it isn't already set to the Evergreen Holistic Learning Center. That is now my location, and that really helps, because if it's set to something else and you go to make an appointment for that client, you may not be able to see their name in your in the client list. So yeah, just make sure it's set to your location. I clicked on calendar because this is how we actually make the appointments. We right now have the ability to schedule people every Wednesday, anywhere between 10 a.m. and not 4 p.m., but 10 a.m. and probably 2:30 p.m. The appointment needs to end at 4 p.m. So you can choose in that time window what makes sense. So let's go to Wednesday, August 12th, which is tomorrow. And I won't follow all the way through with this. So I clicked on the box that is August 12th. Description is, we'll put in Shamel Saunders assessment. Okay. We'll say that he starts at 10 a.m. on the 12th. That's the day I selected. And then we'll put his stop time at 11:30 a.m. Because again, you need, even though the assessment takes roughly an hour, the assessors, meaning Thomas Singleton and Lynn Jackson, won about an hour and a half, just in case things go over. So 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Event type is psychotherapy, guys. Event type psychotherapy. And I just said, I think back, hey, we're not doing psychotherapy. We are not doing psychotherapy, but the assessment is considered psychotherapy. But I would not announce that to the student like that. I would just say you need to be open and honest about your emotions and past experiences, and you'll be assessed, and everything will be kept private by a counselor or licensed social worker. The staff that you're going to choose is either Linda Jackson, who's here, or Thomas Singleton. Let's see where he's at. I'm probably staring right at him. Here he is. We're just going to, for the sake of this example, click on Linda Jackson. So we got Linda Jackson in there. Our client, I know for my test, or for this test, I'm going to do Shamel. So I checked Shamel Saunders. So again, description, Shamel Saunders assessment. He's going from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The event type is psychotherapy. Is this a group? We wouldn't check it because it's one-on-one. Linda Jackson's the staff doing the assessment. Shamel Saunders is the client receiving the assessment. Status scheduled. Leave that be. Service. Select the service. This is something I actually got to quickly look at. This is a 90791U2. 90791U2. Let's hop back to share note. I couldn't remember that off the top of my head. 9071. I don't know why I forgot that. 97091U2. Let's see. Don't know. Here it is. 90791U2. Psychiatric diagnosis by an LPC is fine. So that gets it. 90791U2 is the service. Reoccurrence, we're not going to check. Alert me, we're not going to check. Comments, only put them in there if you need to. Once you save the event, which I'm not going to because I don't want it to be confusing, it turns into a blue line on their calendar. Each of the assessors check their calendar. In fact, they get an alert since you've tagged them as the assessor that now they have an appointment at XYZ time on XYZ day. That's how you schedule the assessment. We will talk more about this tomorrow, how you can set up a Zoom that is just a one-click link that both the assessor can have as well as the student, so they can do this video chat over the phone without fooling around with a meeting ID and password. But once you make that appointment, obviously, hopefully ask the student before you make it to make sure that that's the time they're available. But once you make the appointment and it's on the calendar, that student then gets assessed. If they are honest during their assessment and they really are dealing with, some anxiety, some signs of depression, whatever, you will be able to then work with them roughly 36 hours per month. That's 3 hours per week. I'm sorry, 36 hours per month. You will be able to work with them 12 hours a month. I apologize. I don't know what I'm saying, 36. I think maybe I was thinking about the units, 36 units per month, but you will be able to work with them 3 hours a week, every day of the week for, 3 months minimally, probably more than that. So again, once they do the assessment, you'll just reach back to the assessor after the assessment's done, and we'll talk about how you really have to push the students to show up for their appointment. But once the assessment's done, the assessor will determine if they're eligible for service, put together a treatment plan, which we'll talk about tomorrow, and then you can start helping that student roughly 3 hours a week, usually 4 weeks in a month, so about 12 hours per month you can help that student, whether it's, on a Zoom call or meeting them in person, or just calling them on the phone. You can work with them in a variety of ways, sending them texts, sending them stuff to look at and discuss with you. There's a multitude of ways that we can do this, but they have to complete that assessment and have a diagnosis and treatment plan before you can work with them, do your notes, and start billing. So I know that was a very high level overview of how we refer students to get eligible for this mentorship program. But hopefully you have a quick chance to watch this so we can pick our discussion up tomorrow. Thanks so much, and I'll dig into this a whole heck of a lot more during our meeting. Thank you.